Today we're going to talk about an amazing piece of technology in this small little tiny deck of card size package that will enable you to create all sorts of interesting projects, learn how to program, and basically learn about Linux. This is called the Raspberry Pi computer. It's what's known as an embedded computer. As you can see, it's much smaller than your typical desktop computer, yet has many of the same features and same capabilities. So it has a multi-processor 4 CPU, 1.2 gigahertz per processor core. It has a video output in the HDMI full-size format. It's got 2 extra connectors where you can attach cameras or an LCD display. It's got 4 USB ports for attaching to standard peripherals like keyboards, mice, thumb drives, hard drives, CD-ROM drives, or anything else. And it has an Ethernet connection. But in addition to the Ethernet connection, built in on the board is also a Wi-Fi connector and Bluetooth connections. So you have full wireless internet connectivity on this device as well. It has 1 gigabyte of DDR3 memory, which gives you plenty of room and stuff to run the applications. And then it has a micro SD card connector in which you can insert an SD card, and these can go up to 256 gigabytes in size, which will hold all your programs in the operating system. Now, there are a couple differences between an embedded computer and your desktop computer. The primary one being size and power. This computer runs off of 4 watts, where your desktop computer might be running up to 400 watts. Now, there's a little bit of a compromise in speed because of the lower power, but yet we will show you shortly that it is still capable of being used as a desktop computer. But the word embedded, what does the word embedded mean? Embedded typically means that a computer embedded in something else to control it and work with it. This computer is a general purpose I/O connector on the side that contains several different types of buses, such as I2C, SPI, serial, and general purpose I/O pins. What this connector allows you to do is you can go from a ribbon cable to a proto board where you can put down LEDs, switches, and other electronic components to both feed information into the computer and have the computer control things on the outside. There is a wide range of peripherals that you can attach to the computer through this port, such things as temperature sensors, or you could use it to even control a power outlet, turning on and off a light or a fan in your house. Now, on board this computer, it runs an operating system called Linux. There are also 2 other operating systems available, BSD and a special Windows 10 version called Internet of Things. So you have a wide range of what you can run on there, and Linux has up to something like 60 different distributions that will run on this thing, turning it in everything from a retro gaming console to a router or a media box player that you can hook up to your television. This connector here is a special connector that has left and right audio and composite video out that you can run a television from as well too. So now we're going to talk a little bit about, once you bring up the system, what you have in it. The default and most common operating system for the Raspberry Pi computer is called Raspbian, and it is a specially modified version of Debian with some pre-configured packages and software built in. But it is also a Linux distribution, and you have full access to the Debian repository. Now, one thing to note is that the particular microprocessor on here that's different from your desktop PC is that this is what is called an ARM core processor, and it runs ARM v7 or v8 type binary files, where your desktop computer probably has an Intel or AMD processor and runs x86 type binaries. Most of the Linux packages have been ported from the x86 to the ARM architecture. However, there are a few exceptions. So this is the basic desktop that comes up, and if you're familiar with Windows type desktops, you have a couple icons you can click, and you also have a drop-down menu that gives you access to many of the built-in software features on this thing. So for example, if you run LibreOffice on your Windows machine at home, you can also run LibreOffice on your Raspberry Pi computer. You have the full Office suite of the Writer, the Calc, the presentation, and everything else. Another neat thing that's about the Pi is they've partnered with Wolfram to give you a version of Mathematica built in. And again, this is where those 4-quad processors actually help you. So you have a version of mathematics built in for it, but you also have some fun stuff built in too. Perhaps your children are into Minecraft. There's a special version of Minecraft called Minecraft Pi. Where you can create and play in a Minecraft world. There are also many other games. If we go down to the Add or Remove Software option, broken down by category, you literally have several tens of thousands of programs available ready to install on this thing, from games to science to other applications. Do you need your Pi to be a router? Do you need it to be a web server? Do you need it to be a print server? The Pi is also particularly good at learning programming. If we look at the menu here, under Programming, we can see that it already has several Bluetooth IDEs built in, Mathematica, Python, and Scratch, a simple GUI-based language for teaching children how to program. Then you also have some standard accessories, text editors, calculators, PDF viewers, image viewers, most of what you'd find. You're not limited to what comes installed on the system. Again, through this Add or Remove software, you literally have thousands and thousands of programs available. The other thing we can do with the Pi is we can access and search things on the web. Now, the Raspberry Pi is an extremely popular Linux-based computer, probably the most popular out there. There's millions of them sold, and there is a large online community. Anything you want to know about the Pi, you can pretty much Google it or use another popular search engine to find an answer to your question. Also, on YouTube, there are literally thousands of project videos showing what other people have done with their Pis. The question is, what will you do with your Pi?